Good morning, everybody. We're here for the Go-Getter for Monday, June 5th. And this week we are going to be, we're going through the second critical decision in our awesome book, Equanimity. And before we do that, we want to turn it over to Cherry Severson for our motivational moment. Take it away, Cherry.
Good morning and aloha. I'm calling in from Hawaii, and it is 5:30 here.
Oh, you're so dedicated.
I have to get up at 5, and so I'm a little crispy around the edges, but that's okay.
Well, thank you for doing that for us.
You're welcome. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you, it says, you are fabulous. Okay, when you were growing up, were you ever told not to brag? Perhaps you were put down for talking positively about yourself. You might have been taught to cover your pride with a patina of false modesty because that was considered appropriate behavior. Unfortunately, that behavior of being nice makes it really difficult to ask for a raise, ask for a promotion, or a larger fee from a client. We don't take inventory of the evidence we have to feel good about ourselves. What we do is tell ourselves, oh, I should have done that better. Perfect example of this is when a friend of mine was making her first speech in front of an audience. Susan was very nervous, but I encouraged her to speak from her heart and her knowledge to help the listeners, and she would be fine. She did a great job, and I congratulated her afterward, telling her she did great. Immediately, Susan started telling me how she didn't do great. Oh, I forgot to say this, and I stumbled over that, and I screwed up this other. I said, stop right there. Everybody who speaks has the same story. What you need to know is something I learned as an actor. Most of the audience can't tell when you've made a mistake. They don't know that you forgot to say something because they don't have access to the script. They don't know that you've messed up this or that. Susan blushed in pleasure as she thought about this. I said, so you don't get to criticize yourself about anything about that. Just don't let your mind go there. Go to the place where you are wonderful and fabulous and think about that. Tonight is your night to bask in the glory.
So we got to get the cat.
You can work on improvement another day. Susan grinned and said she liked that idea.
Just one sec, I'll mute everybody.
Okay.
Okay, Cherry.
All right. No problem. I love to give and get positive messages like that. They are little valentines of pleasure to be smiled and cherished. You too can be a harbinger of good tidings to the people around you. Take the time to give compliments. It takes very little and it's fun. And people are so appreciative. No one gets enough compliments. They hear constructive criticism internally and externally. What they did wrong, what's missing, what they need to improve, not what's great. Change that. Be happy, fabulous, and successful because you are.
I love that. Thank you. I bet we can all remember a time when we were little, when our mom or dad said, just say thank you. I have lots of little stories like that.
Yep.
I used to think I was pretty great, and then I had my parents go, don't say I know. I was about 5, and I remember that happening quite a bit in that time period. So thank you so much for that. And I love the part about give compliments to people. It hurts us nothing to give a compliment. And, you know, we're never sorry for saying something great about somebody. Thank you for that, Cherry.
You're welcome.
Okay, this morning we are on the second critical decision. Have y'all read through this? Man, there is a ton of information in here. Isn't it cool? So this chapter is all about hiring ourselves. The second critical decision we have to make is to hire ourselves. And there's a story in here about a gentleman who took the assessment and decided he would absolutely not hire himself. And entrepreneurs have to, we are our first, most important, sometimes only employee. And so I kind of want to jump to the end where they talk about the assessment, because I want to make sure that everybody knows where to take this. And I think we all should take the opportunity. It's free and it's such good information for us. So I want to say it right here in the beginning. Go to www.hiremyself.com/free consult to schedule the free consultation. Sorry, let me see. Okay, never mind. That was to schedule the consult. Go to hiremyself.com and use the special code CONQUER to take the assessment today and get your current Equanimity score. It's free. And then you can schedule the consult, 20-minute consult, with one of the Augmendino coaches, which those are amazing as well. So I will also put that in our group when I put the recording in. I'll also put that in where we can go take that assessment. But that assessment is not for us to feel badly about ourselves, about anything. It's going to show us where our strengths are, where maybe we have some weaknesses that we can work on, but it's just information for us so that we can improve some areas that maybe we're a little bit weak in, but honestly, we can make those our strengths. They don't have to be something that we continue to struggle with. We can work on those, and one of the ways we work on that is this call every week. We're all working to improve ourselves, and I love that you're all on here. Thank you. So first, he talks about being in the observer's chair. There's two chairs that we sit in our life. We are either in the observer's chair, where we are sitting back and we're observing our behavior, we're observing how we feel, we're observing what comes up for us, or there's the chair of unhealthy habits of thinking. There are two things that happen in these chairs. The first chair, the things that happen is we get to feel great about where we're going in our life and the improvements that we've made. And this is where our dreams are fostered and where our success happens. In the chair of unhealthy habits of thinking, this is the place where we get robbed of our freedom, our dreams, our hopes, because we're down on ourselves or we're constantly picking at ourselves for all the things that we're doing wrong. And he really focuses on asking ourselves, which chair am I choosing to sit in? We get to have a choice every day, every moment. Which chair are we sitting in? So I really love that. There's that picture of the guy sitting in this chair where he's got chains around him. Can you see that? I just thought that was so descriptive and so cool. You can see I've marked up my book, like highlighted every little thing. Okay, so as entrepreneurs, we really resist any kind of structure or anybody telling us what to do. And like 95% of us feel that way. We resist structure, even if it's going to free us from things that we don't want in our life. And so being in the observer's chair gives us that opportunity to sit back and go, okay, I've been given some structure here that is going to give me what I want in my life, and it's going to help me achieve my goals. And so instead of resisting that, we can embrace it and make that part of what we feel is acceptable in our life, and make that our path. But that takes some practice, and that takes some commitment. Okay, do I want my goal? Do I want to achieve what I want to achieve? How badly do I want to? Am I willing to plug into the structure that helps me do that? And we've been given that free. We have mentors. We have all this training. Most of it is free, and we get to plug into it anytime. And these structures that actually work have been working for other people for all this time, we can plug into that and say, okay, I'm going to make that part of me. But honestly, we all kind of naturally resist that. So that's part of being in the observer's chair. All right, so tell me, who has some thoughts about this? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Candy, did you raise your hand? No? Okay, sorry. I thought you had. Donna?
I'll just kind of weigh in. I am totally resistant to being told what to do and having structure. I've struggled so many months trying to do a map. Or trying to use my mentor like I should, and yet I get it. I know that I should, and yet I still resist. It's hard.
Yeah.
But the more I keep coming on to this kind of stuff, the more I'll let go of that, and I'll get to the point where I embrace it better. I'm just still resisting, and I could quit it.
Yeah. Isn't it so great that we can look at our leaders, people that are where we would like to be, and we can see what they did and just follow that and know that it works. I really love having that security. It really feels like a security to me. But you're right, we all resist it. It's just part of who we are. It's part of what makes us great. Because we are not people that want to just go with the flow like everybody else. We want to do our own thing. And that's what makes us great entrepreneurs. But at the same time, you're right, we've got to plug into a system that works. And we have one, and I love that. Thanks so much for those thoughts, Donna.
I think that's what they say with your biggest struggle is also your biggest blessing kind of thing.
Yep, you're right.
That your stumbling block is also your pathway.
Yep, the obstacle is the way. That's absolutely right. Thanks for sharing that, Donna. Who else has some thoughts about this? Candy.
Okay, now I do. Okay, so here's my dilemma, and I doubt anybody else has this problem, but I'm hoping you guys can help shed some light on this. So I have another job, and I feel I would absolutely hire myself. I'm a great employee. I'm my own boss in my other job, and I know it. I do it. I'm 100% focused, and I can do it. And then I get to this job, and I'm not as focused, and I do the squirrel thing, and I don't know why I can't structure my time as well as I do my other time. Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. If I leave my house and I do my job, I do my job. If I stay home and do my job, I'm not doing my job like I should do my job. And I know it's all a matter of me. I wouldn't hire myself right now for my other job, for this job. But, like Janet, she was able to go through her schedule, and this is what I'm working on this week. I'm going through my schedule, and I'm making sure this time I'm doing this, this time I'm doing this, this time I'm doing this. And I'm trying to make it so that, yep, I am just as focused and confident in this job as I am my other job. I know what I need to do. It's a matter of doing it. I don't know what the problem is. I think it's just me. I don't know. Give me some help.
No,
wise
I don't think
people.
it's just you. Okay, who has some advice for Candy?
Come on.
Can anybody
People,
relate to what Candy's saying?
No advice. I totally relate. That's why I'm starting, and that's why I've been doing the personal coaching sessions with the AUG people. My coach, this is right where I am in my process. She said, Janet, you've got to figure out how to hire yourself. You've been in that unhealthy chair for so long. We've got to get you in that healthy chair. When you come home and it's just you, it's back to choosing to be the boss and choosing to hire yourself. it's the way you look at it. You're unconsciously looking at it in an unhealthy way. So it's getting conscious and purposeful and saying, no, I really do know how to do this. And I've proven that I've done it in other areas. I just have to do it in this area because this area feels unfamiliar. It feels, so yeah, no, we know how to do it. Candy, you know how to do it. We know how to do it. We just.
I know.
Sally said in the chat that she feels the same way too. It's not just you, Candy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, so I guess.
I think Rhonda has something to say. I want to say something after her because
Okay.
Please.
Oh, Ramona wants to too. So I'm sorry, I'm not seeing Rhonda.
Rhonda needs to unmute herself. You have to unmute yourself, Rhonda.
Oh, okay.
Do you not see her? Can you?
Yeah, I see her now.
Can you? Oh, there she is.
She's got her. Okay.
I didn't know how to unmute myself, but I figured it out just now.
Way to go!
I compared what she was talking to my 12 and 14-year-old grandchildren that I'm living with right now. They come home from school and they are schooled out. They need a break. And so they get a snack and they have some time away from books, and they're on their phone, of course, but at least that's a break, so that they can focus, I guess, is what I'm saying. And it doesn't have to be a long period of time, but what she was saying is that she, as far as I understood, was that she expected herself to keep on going in the same pace and to be her own boss at work, and then keep on going with that same attitude, that same determination and everything, making calls to the clients and her coaches and all of those kind of things. And so I was just thinking that she needs to take care of herself maybe, and do some meditation or get a snack or whatever. So that's just my 2 bits.
Good. Thank you. Okay, Ramona wanted to.
I like that. Can I make one comment on that? I appreciate that. And the one thing that I've started doing is when I start feeling that is I come out here and work in my yard. So I've given myself an hour this morning that I'm working in my yard, and then I've got to go in and then focus. So I think that's a good point. Thank you.
That's good. That's great. Okay, Ramona, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, you did already. Go ahead.
Kara, did you want to go before me?
You go for it. I'll go after you. That's fine.
Okay. Candy, you were mentioning your other job. What's your other job? Are you an employee, Candy?
Yeah, I'm an audiologist. So I work with hearing impaired kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my other job. That's my problem. It would be easy if I could quit it and be happy with that, but I love my other job.
Yeah.
So what came to me when you said that was, your other job, you're not the boss. There's somebody else who's the boss. So you feel an obligation because you're committed to this. So, you want to please that boss, you want to earn your money, you want to be useful that way. So this whole chapter about hiring yourself and becoming the boss, I think that's where the structure is so important, that we as the boss and the person who hired yourself, you've got to set that structure and that expectation. So, and Jamil talked about this, you have those set times. So you just plug in and you do it. You don't, even if you don't feel like it, you plug in and you do it because this is your job. And hopefully you work into loving it. And by doing it, then you're going to feel so good. I know anything I do that's hard, after it's done, I feel so accomplished. I feel so empowered. And so it is with being our own boss. If we don't set up that structure and plug in when we don't want to, then it's like we're not really the boss and we haven't really hired ourselves.
Yep, I totally agree. Thanks, Ramona.
Thanks, Ramona. Okay, Kara.
So, first of all, have you guys ever written down what you're looking for in a job? Because I did that last year. I really wrote down exactly what I wanted. This is what I want. I had like this whole list. And it was in the form of a letter to someone who would be my employer. And it was like, this job sounds really great, but this is what I want. And then I wrote down every single thing that I wanted. And at the end, it said, hey, you're perfect for the job, you're hired, and all your demands are met. And it was signed me. And it was because I was my own boss. But it really helped me realize that what this job is capable of doing for me. And really helped me realize that this job would meet everything I ever wanted as a job. Also, I'm reading a book called The 5-Second Rule. And something that I learned, have you guys read that, Cherry? You're nodding your head. Oh my gosh, this book. I'm actually listening to it as I'm walking in the morning, and I want to walk longer, which is always a good thing because I don't want to put it down. But the 5-second rule, I mean, what I'm learning now is that, it's not about the how or the why or anything like that. It is, it's our feelings that control everything. And that if we can just, when we have a feeling of we don't want to do this or I want to do something else, it's really not our head that's saying it. And if we can just take a second and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push, it actually pushes it from, our limbic, our brat brain to the prefrontal cortex where we can actually think about what we really want. And it takes it away from it being all about our feelings. And I have that same problem. Like I would really rather go to a movie today. And because I'm my own boss, I can do whatever I want. And that's the scary part because you can do whatever you want. But if you don't set aside the time to actually work, you're not going to be your own boss for very long. So I don't know. I haven't got to the part actually of, I'm not completely understanding how I can use that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in this specific area, but I know it can be done. It can be used to overcome a lot of things. So I just think that, if you know what you want and you're really clear about what this job can give you, and then you're saying, I am the boss and here's what I have to do. And then I get to do this other stuff, and don't let your heart and your feelings lead you. I think that might help because I think all of us are probably the same as Candy.
I don't think you're.
Entrepreneurs are different. I mean, we can be driven, but we can also realize that we're our own boss. We can do whatever we want. And that kind of means we don't have to work if we don't want to, but we really have to. So anyway.
Thanks, Kara. Thank you. Is that helpful, Candy? I love the idea about writing that letter to yourself.
Have you
writing it by yourself?
I'll have to post mine on my Facebook page again.
I think I remember when you did that, and I would love to read that again. Yeah, repost.
Yeah, I'll post it again.
Cherry, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, I wanted to maybe make a little bit more comment on the 5-second rule and how we can use that. Kara, you were mentioning that when you're using the 5-second rule, because that's helping you kind of get out of your emotions and, get it to your goals, that when you're counting backwards, whether it's like making calls, there are certain aspects of our job that need to be, taken care of. It's kind of like when I'm working in my husband's office and working on the books, there's certain aspects of it that it's kind of like, yeah, you don't ask yourself whether you want to do it or not, but it's just part of the job. And part of our job is to call people, whether it's to share with them how it works or to support. So with the 5-second rule, if you're not feeling the love, that you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then say like courage or whatever, This morning I had to say it to myself so I could get up early enough to be on this call. And it wasn't, it was kind of like, yeah, my pillow was calling for me, but my obligation was to share my motivational moment with you. And so you can use 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5-second rule for anything that just to, get you back to what do you want, and, the actions that we're going to need to do that. Another thing that was mentioned in the book, and I read it again, kind of finished it up yesterday, was that we have to understand that in order for us to be drawn to, to our goals, that we have to know why we're doing this business. In the book, he said he wanted to build a cabin, and his mentor said, well, why do you want to build the cabin? And, he was talking about why he wanted to have this cabin. So do we all have something that we want our businesses to create for us? And it has to be more than just money. It's kind of like, what do we want from it? Do we want to vacation more? Do we want to, what drives us to do this? And I really was thinking about that. And, for me, I don't know what, you guys have for your goals of, why you do this. But for me, it's to make a difference in other people's lives and to give them that freedom that I didn't have growing up. It's just, it's huge. If you grow up poor and you have to babysit just so you can buy a new bra, it's pretty crazy poor. And so it's like, I don't want anybody else to have to suffer with that kind of being so poor that you have to babysit to, buy a new bra or to buy pantyhose or whatever, because your mom can't give you any money for that. So you have to find out what it is that drives you to do this, and then doing the work won't be so hard. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you. And thanks for the reminder, Ramona. We do need to get on Dr. AZD calls. So thank you so much to everyone for your thoughts, your advice, your good vibes. And thanks again, Cherry, for your motivational moment and for getting up so early with us. You're the best.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bring it in. Woo! Woo!